Hi there everyone, we're at Rockhampton Airport. We're going to fly down to Bundaberg in the Beechcraft Duke. This one is re-engined with the Pratt & Whitney PT6A21 engines, turbines, rather than the Spokane ones Lycoming reciprocating turbocharged engine that you normally get on this kind of aircraft. They often call this the Royal Duke. You can purchase this add-on from Realair. You'll probably see me fly it on some of the other Panic stations, particularly the one that I made a video of Tasmania, Hobart. Also the one at Canberra, some years ago, 2011 I think I made that video. Anyway, so we're going to get this aircraft from Rockhampton down Bundaberg. First things first, there's no power on this aircraft at the moment. There's no ground power. Obviously this aircraft doesn't have an APU, it's too small for that. It's only got 6 seats, twin engine aircraft with turboprops. So I'm just going to get the engine started, just making sure the parking brake is set. That's fine. And I'm going to get rid of the yoke so we can see what's down there. Normally you kind of feel around for all that stuff or move your head around, but obviously in Flight Simulator it's a little harder. So we're going to turn on the battery and then the master. Going to leave the inverter off for the moment. Now we've got fuel on board. That's 54.7. That's gallons. So a little less than half of the fuel on board the aircraft, but we're only flying for a short distance, and that'll be more than enough to get there and hang around and come back if we need to. So turn on the fuel pump number 1. That's up. Turn the ignition on and the starter on. Engine's on, stabilised. Now all of that used battery power, so let's turn on our generators here. Generator goes on and ignition goes to auto, so that we don't burn all the fuel in one tank and get all uneven. I'm going to start the second engine. Fuel pump's on, ignition is on, starter's on. Power plant starts running. That's good. Generator goes on. Ignition goes to auto. Both the fuel pumps come off. Avionics and power inverter on. So let's start getting some stuff on. Transponder goes to standby. Now these are the Reality XP Garmin GNS 530. Got 2 of them on board the aircraft. It's also got the terrain data. Clear the message. And then the flight plan. So we're coming out of Rockhampton. The first waypoint is Gladstone, which I'll import for the VOR, which is GLA. There we see Gladstone, Queensland, Australia. Accept. Next waypoint will be Bundaberg, which is our destination as well. YBUD. Yeah, missed U somewhere. Where it is. Bundaberg, Queensland, Australia. That's set. We'll be flying IFR. We don't have a transponder code yet. I think we have Brisbane on 133.2, and we'll give them a call once I'm ready. We've filed for flight level 200, I think. Yep. Cool. Let's call it. Traffic Rockhampton and Brisbane Centre. Kilo Papa Bravo. Beech Duke is taxiing at Rockhampton for runway 15. Destination Bundaberg. 1 POV.
Kilo Papa Bravo, Brisbane Centre, A score 4303, now reported that.
4302. Score code 4302 and copy traffic, Kilo Papa Bravo. Okay, that's our requirements there. Just looking at the chart, airspace starts at 8,500. So I need to pause there if you haven't contacted traffic control. Technically we could go into the class above E, which is lowest level 155. Let's put that in. Cool. Now move over to the CTAF and contact traffic when we're ready to move. I'll just run a checklist here. I'll extend the flaps to make sure they work. Move ahead forward, there it is. Yep, flaps are good. Nice. Just get back in my seat a bit. Good. Okay, let's put some lights on. Got the recognitions on, strobes off for the moment, beacons on, and we'll do taxi light, and let's contact CTAF. Traffic Rockhampton, Kilo Papa Bravo, Beechcraft Duke at the GA apron is taxiing runway 15, departure southbound to Bundaberg. Yeah, we're looking to go down Hotel, I believe. No, Hotel's on the other side. Foxtrot. Cool. Cabin pressurisation has been set for 20,000 feet cruise. Inside the cabin that'll give us 7,000 feet. This is a pressurised aircraft. Cabin temperature mode set to cool. Windshield heating is on, pitot and stall heating is on. Okay, departing Rockhampton, we track direct to Gladstone, then direct to Bundaberg, or as per an arrival. Just going to check all good. Flight controls are checked and clear. Ready to enter the runway. Transponder on to alt. Strobes on and landing lights are on. Maximum prop RPM. Traffic Rockhampton, Kilo Papa Bravo enters runway 15 for departure southbound. Just got to arm my flight director. We'll be climbing out quite quickly, 2,500 feet a minute. So that's runway 15. We'll open up the oil doors to cool the engines on the takeoff roll. Let's go. Take our first set. $100 knots. Off we go. Gear up. $140 knots. Back to center. Time 05.
636 video descending flight level 140. Corner 636 Brisbane Center Gauge, squawk 4335. Getting your descent for 9,000. Resume QNH 1032.
Nav set. Estimate for Gladstone time 23.
Squawk 43335 and continue descent level 90. Get AG 1022 for Qantas 626. Qantas 636 now, Jenna.
All parts in. And RPM coming back to 2,000. Yeah, that climb coming to 3,000. Cool. Brisbane Centre, Kilo Papa Bravo departed at Rockhampton, time 05, currently out of 5,000 feet, climbing to 8,500, tracking to Gladstone, expecting Gladstone time 21.
Kilo Papa Bravo, identify clear to Bundaberg, fire Romeo Kilo, correction Gladstone, flight entry, climb flight level 200.
Clear to Bundaberg as filed, climb flight level 200, Kilo Papa Bravo. So clear the 200, let's set that. Okay. 2,000 set, 20,000 set, sorry. Just going to back up on the thrust a tiny little bit and put that back to 2,500. So 95% on the N2. And 1050 on the torque. Okay, flaps are up, gear is up. Pressurization is holding, and we have about 5,000 inside the cabin. There's 10,000 feet. QNH 1013 is set. It's reducing our climb rate again, 2,000. Taxi lights off, landing lights off.
Climb 686, contact Brisbane approach 124 decimal 7. Yep. 124 decimal 7, climb 626, thank you.
Close those oil doors now. Complete. Torque is 1,000. It's going to bring that up a little bit again to 1050.
Pelican 115, Brisbane, Senegade, remain current squawk 4424, no reported outbound traffic, report everyone. 4424, traffic outbound express, so 115.
Check of the pressurization, we're out of 7,000, and we expect the cabin to stabilise just over 7. Differentials coming up. Every RPSI is about 4 or 5. Yeah, just out of full PSI. Just decrease the cabin rate a little bit. Just about where I expect to be. Okay, I'm going to set the torque to 1000. feet, altitude captured. Just bringing that torque down piece by piece. Just needs a light hand, although it tends to fluctuate quite a lot. Observing that speed, need to stay below 200. I'll bring that power back a little bit more. 950.
Okay, Express 115, go ahead.
Express 115, departure time, one currently through 3,700 climb.
That's about as fast as we can go.
140, estimating waypoint 40 at time 50.
Ground speed 264.
Okay, Express 115, cleared. 2 bank standby authorities right.
We do have a headwind there of about 9 knots.
Climb to flight level 140 for confirm. Pelican Express 115, climb omitted, flight level 140.
140, apologies for Hotel 120, Express 115.
Corners 15, leaving my extended airspace, Centre Oceanic, squawk 2000, on interview, com 122.9. Have a great flight. Unicom 122.9, Qantas 15, goodbye. Pelican Express 116, verify level passing.
Pelican Express 116 went through 7,200.
Pelican Express 115, identify.
piston directly below us. Let's talk about Bundaberg. Looking at the weather there, we have 160 degrees at 5 knots. Scattered 2,400. QNH 1021. Runway at Bundaberg is runway 14. Because it's only 20 degrees off the actual stuff there. Now since 240 scattered, it's possible that we'll need to be IFR. There's only one approach, well there's two approaches really. There's the GPS DME approach, which is for all sectors, and there's an NDB approach for runway 14. The sector that we're flying down is Sector Alpha. Its minimum descent altitude is 2,700. Once you're within 15 miles, yeah, we can descend to 1,500. And the last step between 6 and 4 miles is 900 feet. And MDA, certainly minima for a Class Bravo aircraft, is 730. I'll set that up. It's about time to descend now, actually. Brisbane Centre, Kilo Papa Bravo is ready for descent to Bundaberg.
Kilo Papa Bravo, descend at 9,000, area QNH 1022.
And 9,000, Kilo Papa Bravo, and QNH 1022. Clear down to 9,000. I'm starting to reduce the torque now, just to get out of that red area. And let's do it.
And Kilo Papa Bravo, just had a weather update. Area QNH now 1021.
Copy QNH 1021, Kilo Papa Bravo. Right, so it's starting to descend. Let's put that to 500 and bring that cabin altitude back down to 0. Actually reduce it more than that, make it about 300. Easy on the ears. At this stage I'm still hoping for a good old straight in approach and then turn visual once we're visual. It might be as low as 2,400, maybe 2,000 feet. So I'll just run by the sectors and just keep a look at the distance on GPS. I'll just check in the NDB as well. We have NDB on frequency 302. .302 is set. Let's see what procedure has for us. Really? I know. 1-4. Alpha. No, it's not Alpha, it's let's see which one it'll be. Let's do it. These approaches are a lot better than NDBs. Charlie is our direction. Check out what it looks like on the flight plan. There we go. So I'll track the direct for a little while, and then once we're within 25 miles, we'll track direct to Bravo November Charlie, or at least once we're below controlled airspace. Let's have a look at the airspace, and lowest level of E is 8,500. CTAF is 126.9. And that's preset.
Hello, Express 115, contact Brisbane Centre on 1-2, stand by. Hello, Express 115, contact Brisbane Centre 124.8. Hang on, that's wrong, 2, stand. 115, it is 124.8, good day.
130, let's turn on some lights. Let's get the landing lights on. Need a little bit of de-ice through some of that. Don't need it yet. At 46 miles out of 12,000. 36, 12. We can probably pull off some of that descent rate. To be on the 3-degree glide slope, we need to be at 36 miles. We're at 44. Use some of that time to reduce speed a little bit. torque, just have reduced our descent rate a little. Came up on 10,000. H1021.
Kilo Papa Bravo, just switching controllers so careful so we keep getting ours. Just stand by any control will be on shore.
Good with that, and we're about on the CTAF anyway. We'll contact below 8,005.
Kilo Papa Bravo.
If you do want to inform the other controller, we're estimating time 4.5 at Bundaberg. He's going anyway, alright. Or is that a few minutes to your estimated? Because you're going to do a circuit anyway. If you arrive early, then that's not a problem. If you arrive late, then they might send out a search party. Try and avoid that as much as possible. Yep, we're in the soup. Just going to sit on one cycle and prop heat. So we don't have much on the wings anyway. Pretty dry. Okay, approach checklist. We have the cabin altitude set to 0. Coming out of 5,000 actual. Going to increase that rate to 500 now. Lights are on, and anti-ice is on. That's 9,000. Let's start our descent into CTAF. See what the MSA is here. $3,800 till 25. $3,800 is set. 1,100 set. Still time 4.5. There's Vincento so again, Kilo Papa Bravo is out of control area, now descending to Bundaberg, estimating time Bundaberg at 4.5.
Kilo Papa Bravo, good evening, Trent, Brisbane Centre. Roger, we copied that you're on descent to Bundaberg, is that confirmed?
That's right, on descent to Bundaberg, we're out of 7,500, which is below your CTA steps, and we're going to be contacting CTAF there. We expect to be in the circuit time 4.5.
Kilo Papa Bravo, thanks. Report established in the circuit. Do you want to cancel start watching the circuit or on the ground?
We'll do it on the ground, Kilo Papa Bravo.
Kilo Papa Bravo, thanks. 909 traffic, the area Q on H1019, report on the ground, careful for correction, Bundy for southwest estimation.
Copy that, report on the ground, Kilo Papa Bravo. Okay, we're outside the controlled area. Let's switch over to CTAF. 25 miles-ish. And and I'll go direct now to the initial point. So looking at that GPS, it says MDA is 4,600, but on this actual routing chart it says 3,800 is minimums. Of course there's no hills above about 2,000 feet, and as you can see the coastline there, we're getting into the area of Bundaberg. So we're actually within 25 miles now, so the descent altitude 2,700 is our minimum. Traffic, Bundaberg, Kilo Papa Bravo is 25 miles north of the field. We're tracking inbound via RNAV Zulu approach, runway 14. Aircraft type is Beechcraft Duke Turbine. We'll report once again established on final runway 14 and at 10 miles. At 10 miles is Bravo India initial point, and at that point we should be at 2,700. So the inbound course 138 degrees. Right about there. Nice to get below the clouds. Temperature on the ground is, let's see, 17 degrees, so we won't need that ice anymore. Prop ice and ding ice is off. Let's do an approach check. We're at 4,000 feet. QNH 1021 is set as per the meta, and area QNH, which is slightly different to that. Use 19. We'll use the airfield's meta. Landing lights on, strobe lights on, and recognition lights on. Aircraft's fairly close to, yeah, 1,000 to go, 500 to go really. We'll let the level off reduce our speed. That's Point Charlie. Make it 140 and hold 140 till the initial point. That's 150 now. Traffic Rockhampton, Kilo Papa Bravo, Beech Duke is 2,700, established on runway 15, approximately 11 miles, 12 miles to final approach. We'll be landing on runway 15, Kilo Papa Bravo. maximum gear extension speed is 160. Maximum flap on the wide arc. That's point initial. We're now 10 miles from the field. I have an approach solution on the GPS. Selected approach mode. This is using a GPS derived glide slope. It is not an actual ILS. As a result, the minimum altitude to fly this ILS automated is 620 feet. It's a very nice piece of equipment. That's all this Realair XP GNS 530. Okay, that speed split off a little bit more than I wanted. Let's go flap approach. Approach flap set. Glide slope capture. Glide path capture is probably the best way to say it. Gear down. Flap for the approach. Flap landing set. Okay, landing checklist. Gear down 3 green. Flap set for the approach. Blue light. Max RPM. Condition levers full forward. Runways in sight. Bundy Sea Turf, Kilo Papa Bravo, final runway 14, or full stop. I'll be reducing speed now to 100 knots, 95 knots actually on the red line. Red line is minimum control speed for a engine out for the critical engine. About there. Okay, coming off autopilot. Just remembering this airport does not actually have an ILS. Glide slope information is GPS derived. Basically that means we're on a visual approach now. Time 4-3. T-Varsi, not a Pappy, so it's always whites. That means we're on slope with just the 2 lights there, slightly below. That's Delta. Looks it. Yep, that's taxiway Delta right there. Going to get our tail out of there before we come to a stop. There we go. Screws that slightly, flaps up. Landing lights off. Recognition and strobe lights off. Let's go to centre. Brisbane Centre, Kilo Papa Bravo on the ground at Bundaberg. Just need to flip back to the CTAF. Traffic Bundaberg, Kilo Papa Bravo is vacated, runway 14. We're tracking to the apron now on Delta. Brisbane Centre, Kilo Papa Bravo, vacate is on the ground at Bundaberg. To cancel SAR watch, time 47. Flight directors off. Looks like they might not get us on the range. Yeah, Centre, Kilo Papa Bravo, vacated and is on the ground. Bundaberg, time 47.
Kilo Papa Bravo, thanks. Melbourne Centre, just confirm you're cancelling, sir.
Yep, cancel SAR watch, Kilo Papa Bravo.
Kilo Papa Bravo, nice call sign, please. Kilo Papa Bravo, Bundaberg, SAR watch 10, good night.
Kilo Papa Bravo, thanks. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? I think we're heading up that direction where those 2 people are waiting. Certainly not parking on that no parking area. See the fuel barrels is up that side. Just wondering if it's grass parking here or if we're parking in front of these hangars.
$21.57. I've got you slowing everywhere. What's the go, sir?
Go back to the CTAF. Yeah, that's them. Getting picked up by those guys. So grass right here. Brakes on. Alright, let's get ourselves shut down. Inverters off. Flaps are up. Cooler is off. Cabin pressure is 0. Let's go. ignition off, generators off. Pitot heats and windshield heats off. Beacon's off, and the power's off. Well, welcome to Bundaberg. Let's go.